Okay, it is 7:02 and I'm calling the May 17th, 2023 meeting to order of the Development Review Board, I should say. The first item of business is for me to read the chair's remarks. Now, Allison and Tim, you'll get used to hearing this. I have to read it at the beginning of every meeting, and it doesn't change, so you'll have to get used to it. At the DRB, we hear applications for land development in the town of Brattleboro and appeals of zoning administrator decisions. Procedurally, the Development Review Board operates on the record. Broadly, this means that we take a clear record of testimony from the applicant and any interested parties, and then issue a written decision with our findings. Applicants and members of the public should be aware that as we are on the record, this is your opportunity to comment on and provide evidence relating to an application. Application material and written testimony is posted to the town website as received. Hearings may be continued at the board's discretion if materially important documents are received after the submission deadline. In the event our decision is appealed to the environmental court, the court will not take or consider additional testimony at its hearing, but will look at the evidence from our hearings, the regulations, and determine if the evidence supports the findings and decision of this board. Only interested persons that participate in this proceeding may appeal a decision made by the board, so I strongly encourage everyone to speak up. As we are on the record, we're going to ask you, and I think, Susan, you're the only one.
Yeah.
So if you could stand. We're going to ask you to affirm that your testimony will be truthful.
Yes.
Oh, okay, Brian.
Move up to it.
All right. I hereby affirm that the evidence I give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do.
I do.
You can speak. Applicants require a majority vote of the full board to succeed. That is 4 votes out of 7. And we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an alternate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 because we have an alternate. Where am I? If we do not have a full board present, which we do, to hear your application, then we will consider a request to continue your application to the next public meeting. After taking testimony, the board will close the public hearing and may vote on your application. The board will issue a written decision within 45 days of the close of the hearing. While we may vote on an application, it is the written decision that controls the timeline for appeal. It should be noted that the town of Brattleboro is a party with an interest in land development applications. The town does not have a special status before this board. Documents provided to the board by the town planning department, town attorney, or other town departments will be considered in exactly the same way as the information from the applicant and other interested parties. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting, which I believe was April 19th?
I
Move.
second.
Catherine?
I second.
It's Catherine and Gary. All those in favor, please specify when I call your name. Tim? Oh.
I
Catherine,
think I can abstain from this one, right?
yes. Yes. Catherine.
Aye.
Nora. Aye. Michael.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
And I'll vote aye. So that is one abstention.
Allison.
Probably two.
Allison, well, I haven't appointed her yet. Can she still vote? Okay. Allison,
I guess I'll abstain also.
so we have two abstentions. You got that? Okay. All interested persons took the oath. Brian, was the meeting properly warned?
Yes, it was.
Does anybody have a conflict of interest or had any ex parte communications? Okay, and I'm appointing Allison Gauthier, is that how you pronounce your name?
That's
Al?
correct. Yes.
To hear the applications for tonight. That means you can vote.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. The first item on the agenda is, I'm skipping to 2023-31, which was Clifford Allard, and the electrical room expansion at 354 Old Ferry Road. And we received communication today from the state that we do not have to do a local Act 250, and that Brian can do a minor site plan approval, since it's only 102 square foot bump out. So, we're removing that from the agenda tonight. Okay. The next item on the agenda is 2023-28, Susan Benjamin for 22 Chestnut Enterprise LLC. Request for subdivision approval to convert a building into 5 condominium units. Okay. Okay, can you talk to us about your plans?
I haven't really delved too much into it, other than, like he asked me if I'd been to an attorney. I haven't done that yet because I was waiting to see how this meeting was gonna go. But it's basically, nothing's gonna be changed except for it's going from renter to an owner occupied building. That's the plan with, there's plenty of backyard space, and that'll all be worked out through the condo, association when I set that up. Other than that, I don't know if you have any questions or.
How do you think you're gonna work the transition from renter to owner?
As far as like renters that have been there for a while?
Yes.
Or, one renter, I have one long-term renter. And what I do is, I do like midterm rentals with nursing people that traveling nurses. So it's like 3 to 6 months or a year. So and that's for 4 of the units, actually 3 of the units, and one of them I'm in the middle of renovating. So one's a long-term, month-to-month resident currently, and then the other 3 are, like I said, the midterm rentals, and then I'm renovating the other one. So it won't be a hard transition for the 3. And then the other couple, I haven't run that by them yet, but like they could be interested in buying the condo because they really love it there. So I haven't mentioned it to anybody because only a couple people know I'm doing this, other than the neighbors and stuff, because I just, I want to see how this meeting goes and how to move forward and kind of feel the waters out, because this is the first time I've done this. So
You're gonna speak to the long-term folks about possible purchase.
right, yes. Yep.
Any other questions? Catherine?
No,
I'm a little confused by the drawing, but the hand drawing, just.
Yeah,
wanna know.
That was from 1993, when the site plan was approved, I guess by the DRB in 1993. Was there a DRB?
ZBA, probably.
The ZBA.
For the
zoning
fifth
board.
apartment.
Yeah, for a fifth
Yeah,
apartment,
right.
it looks like, that wasn't me, we didn't own it then.
Oh,
Yeah, but the drawings of like the parking and stuff are all pretty much, the same. That's exactly how we park and it works out great. There's plenty of parking.
So the parking are these squares along the side?
No, I think that's just showing where the parking areas are, kind of like like if that were a car
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing, yeah. And then there's 2 parking spaces in front of the garage area too. And
We couldn't put this up on the board by any chance, could we?
and in a big backyard.
No, I guess not.
So that, what it says 108 feet, that's your backyard?
Yeah, it's a big backyard. Yes. For in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the new apartment is the one that says proposed apartment? What was there before, or nothing?
No, we're not looking at the apartment. The apartment was already approved in 1993.
Oh.
So
That
we're
was
just,
just the last site plan that was on file, so I included that because it
Yeah.
seemed to still be accurate.
No, thanks, Steve.
Never mind, I'm just very confused.
so that there's parking on the left side, and I assume where it says proposed apartment, that is currently an apartment.
Yes, that is a big apartment. It's almost like a house. And then right beside it is a 2-car garage where there's 2 other spaces there to park.
Okay, and then the backyard is the thing that says 108 feet.
Yes, I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah. And
On
actually,
the paperwork, it says to convert a 5-unit apartment building into condominiums.
Yeah, well, there are 5 units inside the rest of the building.
Which is,
It doesn't show the floor plan.
in the other part of the building where you see proposed apartment right before that, it's like 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, 2 down. It's like, and then the back end apartment, number 5.
Yeah, when I went by there, it's a huge house.
Yeah.
It's very, very deep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they kept adding on through the years.
Yeah.
We didn't do any of the add-ons,
Yeah.
we just like keep updating and kept updating and stuff. But yeah. I'm very interested in like doing this too, to have like, I know there's not a lot of real estate on the market, and to kind of like get some property owners that can't afford the prices that are right now. They could afford like a condo, that like my tenants there. They could afford a condo, but they can't afford to go out and buy what housing prices are, not to talk about. There aren't any houses really, so kind of looking at that piece is like caring about Brattleboro and the neighborhood and owning a piece of Brattleboro actually.
Tim, Allison, anybody have any members of the board have any other questions?
just trying to find it, it's kind of blurry, just trying to find each Chestnut on this map.
Yeah.
Is that the,
Yeah,
this one we got?
this is
Okay,
Pleasant Street's over here.
oh, there, okay.
This is Chestnut Street, this is the house, and this is that 108-foot backyard right there.
Okay.
So,
And
can
that's,
we talk about
it's like
what needs to
historic,
go in the deed?
but
Would that
it's
help
quite
you?
deep.
Yeah, sure. I think
Narrow
Steve had
bylaw.
sent me a while ago, way before the meeting,
And it-
the stuff that needs to be done as far as converting it and going to an attorney, like obviously an attorney is gonna help me and show me what to do, and as well as like any questions I have, and you were very helpful too at the beginning with the application. You've all been very helpful, so, you know, I'll just kind of go from there. It's kind of me putting one foot in front of the other. Okay, the meeting first, and then, you know, then if it's approved, then getting an attorney and seeing what other paperwork I have to do for you guys.
But you will have to have some kind of provision in the deed for shared maintenance and
Yes,
how that's gonna happen.
yes. So I worked in mortgage my whole career, and so I've seen many of condo association guidelines, and I'm very familiar with kind of what goes into it, but not every single thing, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I do know a little about that, yeah.
As I'm familiar with condos in Boston
Right.
and particularly the smaller ones, and this is a smaller condo association.
Right,
People, the big problem turns out when there's a big maintenance issue.
right, exactly.
Like when the roof has to be
Right,
repaired
right,
and nobody's put any money into a maintenance fund.
right, yeah. The roof was all just recently redone, within the past, I think, year and a half, I think, maybe. It's been 2 years this summer now, so, yeah.
Brian,
The draft decision has a 180-day limit on recording some documents. I would suggest maybe extending that to more, a full year or year and a half.
180 days is 6 months.
And I can imagine that finding an attorney and getting it drafted and reviewed could run through that really quickly.
So you intend to live in one of the units?
Yeah, so I currently live in Maine, which I'm gonna stay living in Maine, but I would like to I have family here and a grandson I'm very close to. So like keeping one of the smaller units is like perfect. I can come back and forth and we can hang out. He lost his father, so he really needs me, and so I'm always back and forth, have him all weekend. So yeah, that is the plan, to be here for my daughter and my aging mother in Springfield, Vermont too. So most of my family's here.
Tim, did you have something?
I was just going to say, this is my first meeting. I don't think I have too much to comment on. I'm trying to be hyper aware of the limits of this body and what is appropriate as far as like what positions the regulations take, which doesn't seem to be anything prohibiting this type of conversion,
No.
if I get that correctly, right?
That's correct.
So obviously my concern might be if this was a big trend, that it would exclude a lot of people from rental units that we desperately need. But as the applicant points out, we also need opportunities for people to be able to purchase units. So I guess that's all I'll say.
It's a balance. It becomes a balancing act.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have to say.
So, can we agree that we'll change the condition from 180 days to 1 year?
I think
Does
that's,
that
I think that's
make
fair.
sense? Yeah.
Seems fair.
So you have some time
Good,
to work
thank
on
you.
the
Appreciate
conversion.
that. Yeah.
Okay, are there any other questions? Any comments from the board? We don't have any public. So is there a motion to,
I have one question.
Okay.
Do we, all we're doing is basically having getting somebody to draft these conditions, condominium declarations and have
Yeah.
them recorded?
Yeah.
Okay,
And there'll have to be a new,
Map.
site plan.
Site plan,
My,
right.
Mylar site plan
That
submitted,
basically says,
that this is, these are owner occupied.
so it's kind of like a
Yeah.
footprint
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
with
So,
with the rest being common land.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So are there any other questions or comments?
No, I'd like to make a motion to approve the project with the one change of changing into a 1-year timeframe as far as submitting the Mylar and the condominium.
Documents, yeah.
documents.
I like to second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the request of Susan Benjamin to convert the 5 unit apartment building at 22 Chestnut Street into 5 condominium units. I'm going to call each person's name and you can vote yes or no. Tim,
Yes.
Allison,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
Nora,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Gary,
Aye.
and I'll vote yes. So
Yay.
it's 7
Thank you.
to nothing if I can count correctly. And your project is approved.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch with you guys and, yeah, you probably, will you email me any? Okay, all right.
Yeah, when, I'll sign the decision.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then, you'll send it in the mail, right? You said, is that it, or?
Yeah, so the process is I'll finish drafting the decision,
I'll come and sign it.
yeah, then I'll mail out a copy to you and email you.
Okay,
And
Alright.
that will probably be in 2 weeks.
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Should I shake all your hands?
Is that necessary?
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
Nice to
Welcome.
meet you. Yep. Thank you.
You can
Nice
wave
to
to
meet
them.
you. You can wave. Thank you guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have any additional business to come before the board?
Just have an observation. This is the second one of these we've seen, and it's been kind of no problems. And I could say we don't need to see these if we want to report that to the planning commission.
So we've looked into this as well, because really it has no impact on any of the review criteria.
Right.
And it's a matter of state statute that condominiums actually do need to be approved.
Okay.
So we definitely looked into having it done administratively,
Yeah.
but that's not allowed, so.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll keep seeing them,
All right.
if, maybe.
Contact your representatives.
So, welcome Tim
I can
and
see
Allison.
condominiums that are like, you know,
Yeah.
but these little ones.
I guess you have to agree, 'cause my vision of the way I seen kind of New York are the big
Yeah.
ones like that, but in a home like that, I guess she said she was basically doing just for visiting nurses or for people coming up and,
Right now, yeah,
Yeah.
she's gonna,
Yeah.
they have, visiting nurses now have a place to
To
live
come.
at Holton Home,
Right.
so.
And it looks like they're moving in.
yeah.
Oh, really?
I saw
Okay.
a moving van there today and all the blankets were being tossed back into the van, so it looks.
Cool, that's
But I
great.
think they're going to be doing it with, it's gonna be furnished, I assume, because they're all visiting nurses, so. I
Yeah.
assume that's what was going on, is
I
they were
think
moving
that's
some
what
of
Bob
the stuff.
Stevens said, that they would be furnished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It looks like that may be coming to fruition.
good. Any other questions or comments? As I said, welcome Tim
Thank you.
and Allison. And
Thank you.
Allison,
For all this evening.
I just wanted to say that we have another alternate who I think didn't come because he thought we would have plenty of people. But alternates should always show up because
Okay,
we do not know, there's no guarantee that we'll have a full board. And even if you can't vote, because we have 7 board members, you can always comment on a
okay,
project.
good to know.
Right.
And that's, and commenting is important.
And being an alternate is great training.
Yeah,
Yes,
That's what I figured. I could learn a lot.
that's how I started as an
Me
alternate,
too,
yeah.
yeah.
that's how I started. So, is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion that we adjourn. Thank our new members for coming in and showing up.
Second,
Thank you.
All in favor of adjournment?
I
Aye.
Bye.
See you next month.